So the next section of the podcast, I like to call Pro Tips.
Pro Tips.
And Pro Tips is it's for people who maybe are interested in getting into, the laundromat industry. And the question is this: what's one piece of advice you would give to a new laundromat owner or somebody who's looking to get into the industry, and they want to buy their first laundromat? What advice can you give somebody?
Oh man, distributor. Interview distributors. Act like you're interviewing somebody to be your partner. Go in there and really make sure you like the person that is selling to you. You feel like they're telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Make sure they have the capability to help you if you need it.
Yeah.
Make sure, try to find some people that they've done work for. They'll be happy to give you a list of people that love them. But you can easily figure out who the distributor is just by, okay, what brand do you sell? Oh, okay, so you sell Speed Queen. Okay, just go around the laundromats that have Speed Queen equipment in there and ask, how does this distributor treat you?
Yeah.
What do you feel? How long does it take them to get service guys to you? When they do show up, are they able to actually fix the problem? These kind of questions you got to ask. Because you will find that if you find a distributor that is really about you and about the customers, then they will be one of your greatest assets going forward. If you end up kind of, unfortunately, getting in bed with a distributor that's not very helpful, because you got to understand, like, warranties are long. Like this, you're not going to replace laundry equipment for a long time.
Yeah.
And the guy you buy it from is going to be the guy that's going to come fix it.
Yeah.
Not say guy, but it could be male, female owned distributorship, male, female techs, whatever. So, but you want to make sure before you sign anything, you want to make sure before you even get in bed with the concept that you've got a real good idea who you're going to want to move forward with. That's something that we so often overlook because we so often just get into this phase of what does the equipment cost, and it, as long as it's not outrageous, if you're talking 5 or 6% of the entire project, it's really not a big deal, right? And go ahead and bid them out, right? You already know who you're going to go with.
Totally.
You can keep them honest by saying, hey, look, I got a quote from X, Y, and Z, and this is this, and what's going on. And just have this conversation with them because, sometimes they can do things, right?
Yep.
We've in the industry, gosh, we've gotten good at, even moving mountains for people who want to build laundromats. So, but sometimes you can't. It just depends on what you can and can't do with that given deal. But do make sure that you're dealing with the right person. And every one of us out there can do that, right? And then sometimes folks just won't jive with us, right? And so they really need to go to a different distributor because they get frustrated, we get frustrated, everybody gets frustrated, and it's just not a good relationship, right? It's better to just go ahead and start with somebody who really is the person that you want to do business with, over a long period of time. Because, like you said, you didn't have that good of an experience with your distributor. And that's really unfortunate because you're sort of stuck. Yep. It's really hard to jump ship.
Yep.
Because you may have, there are laundromats that have, $500,000 and $600,000 worth of equipment sitting there. What are you going to do? You're not going to replace it. It's good stuff. You're going to operate it. And so you've got to, and I don't mean to be self-serving with this, but it is really the most important thing that people getting into the business really need to do. They need to kind of understand who it is that, they're going to be buying stuff from in the future. Right. Yeah. And, you don't have to buy every single part or every single piece of equipment from that distributor, but, you make sure you have a good relationship with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that advice coming from a distributor even. I think it's so important to do business with somebody that you trust. And I even love that you said, hey, bid them out and keep them honest, because I know that, you guys are in business too. And so, you're trying to make the money you need to make, and and somebody buying equipment's trying to save the money they need to save. So I like,
sure.
and I like that. And that's what it's all about, right? Like, you got to find something that works for both people. And most of the time you can, and sometimes you can't, and that's just the way it goes. But, but I love that advice is coming from a distributor, not just an owner. And, somebody saying, hey, find somebody you trust that you can work with, that's going to be there for you when you need them, and is going to have your best interest in mind, because not everybody is like that, so I love that.
And you want to make sure that person doesn't have a reputation of, he was great until another person came and they built the laundromat. Like, if you go down and you make a left, that they built that one.
Yeah.
And half my business went there. You don't want to do, you don't want that guy either. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, you gotta, and it's real easy to figure out how distributors do business. You just have to ask other laundry owners, and it's not like you have to be a super sleuth to figure this out. Like, if you're in a certain zip code and you see this brand of equipment, then that distributor is 99% the person that sold that equipment. And so they know them, right? So, it's pretty easy to figure that out.
Yeah. Awesome. I think that's a great pro tip. Thanks for sharing that.